Hello, and welcome to the first video on Alarm, a learning and responding matrix. In this context, we're essentially just going to be talking about Alarm in terms of what it can do for our paragraph scaffolds. So, here I've given three examples of paragraph scaffolds. The one that I see most commonly used is on this side, Peel, and sometimes extended into Petal. Peel provides 4 points, and some of the other more minor scaffolds I've seen also use four, which are really just different words for um, the Peel acronym. You start with a point, which is a little bit vague. I think that requires some unpacking to um, really make clear what a point worth making is. You then expand upon that point by explaining that point, which, in my mind, as a writer, that's self evident. I am trying to explain, I want more detail about how you'd like me to explain. You have to provide an example. And I think, in terms of Peel, that doesn't tell you much. It just says there needs to be an example. And in terms of student writing that needs to be extended, the floating example or floating technique is really common, as well as a link, which a lot of the time I see in student writing just becomes a rephrasing of the question, which is quite weak. I don't think Peel is too far off what I have in the middle here, which is nothing. You have a start, a middle, and an end of the paragraph. Um, a little bit of a sandbag there. I apologize, but truly, in my mind as a writer, I know each paragraph has to start. So I'm probably going to have a hook type sentence. I know I need to have some kind of substance to my writing, that's the middle, and I know I need to end my paragraphs with something, but I don't know what. So the reason why I've included this is Petal extends it a little bit, but when we get to Alarm, you'll see it doesn't extend it by much. You really aren't much better off using Peel than having nothing. The start, middle, and end of that paragraph. The reason why Alarm is really valuable as a scaffold is because it provides really explicit information about what should be done at each stage. Uh, it isn't necessarily at the start, but the kind of leading into your main points of your paragraph is at the start. You have three phases with distinct interests, with distinct objectives: identify, describe, explain. I think that's a lot more detail than give me a point. The middle, the bulk of your analysis, you have two different phases here, and analyze. The point that I made before, the example and technique is it's better than nothing, but example and technique really just is analyze. And if you're talking about making a really impressive essay, you need to extend that further by critically analyzing. Critically analyzing is that next step beyond. And continuing evaluation essentially is the step beyond critical analysis. Analyze and critically analyze are really specific about what is happening in the text, how does the text function, and evaluate is about broadly what does the text do and why do we care about this text. I think that's a lot more information than link really gives you. Now, in the following videos, the next video, I'm going to provide much more information on what each of these steps are. Um, then, following that, I'll provide an example of how to construct an alarm paragraph. It'll be a really simple one to follow. I promise it isn't as intimidating as it sounds. English is hard enough as it is, so I've tried to make the example paragraph really easy to follow along with. You can tweak little bits for your first few tries at Alarm, and then you can extend it further as you've become increasingly confident at writing your own paragraphs. Last video will just be deconstructing a paragraph using alarm, and you'll see how it makes it really specific and allows more clear communication between the teacher and student, allows your essays. Uh, it really takes away those question marks that come from uh, make your point stronger or your example needs to be analyzed further. What do you want? This makes it all the more clearer. Okay, see you in the next videos.